In progress.
Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate, took else to win, running laps again. It's a steady race, people's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate, took else to win, running laps again. It's a steady race, people's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
And welcome everybody to episode 66 of the Heavyweight Bros podcast. It is Tuesday, November 15th. As usual, I am your host, the Big Nasty. Oh shit, I forgot my rest of the stuff beforehand.
Wow.
That's all right. No. Let's keep going. 5XL Assassin, Diabolical Diabetic, your boy, the Big Nasty. To my right is my co-host, the High Yellow Hitman, the freaking Deacon, Coach Buck, my man, Uncle Razor. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you okay?
Yeah, man. We the one take boys. We'll keep it moving, man. Like I was a little bit too overzealous. You know what I mean? That's all it was.
Okay. All right. Nah, I'm good, man. We got a couple. Well, we got one album to review, and we got a round two on the album.
You got a review.
A review.
Yeah.
All right. We want to get to the first one first?
Let's get to the first one first.
KD3.
King Disease III by nobody other than Nasty Nas in your area, about to cause mass hysteria. 17 tracks.
Yep. Comes
Comes in at a little under an hour. How you feel about it, bro?
I love it. It's exactly what I needed to hear at the time that I needed to hear it.
What's that supposed to be? I feel like somehow, some way, there's a shot at Drake in there.
Nah, you came up to that conclusion on your own.
I came up with that conclusion with the clues that were presented before me.
Hey, listen, it's exactly what I needed to hear at the time that I needed to hear it. There are a couple songs on this album that I could deal without, but for the most part, it's a straight listen through.
I think it's a hard album to find a skippable song on.
Yes.
And it's like you said too. It's one of those ones like when you put it on, like you don't think. So, all right, so like it works for it and it works against it as well.
Okay.
Because there isn't a track on here where it's like, ooh, I gotta hear this song today. So it's like you don't need to like go and listen to it because of that. But then like when it's on, like you feel no need to change it or turn it off.
Right.
But it's all about you wanting to go and put the album on.
Yeah.
I guess like the most part.
So for me, it was like there was. How can I say this? I was worried about the collaboration with him and Hit Boy because they did a lot of stuff already.
The first two King Diseases.
Let me get to it because they have done so much. It's like you get to a point to where you're like, all right, what can we actually do now that we haven't already done? Because like it's not like you're gonna get a lot of extra styles out of Nas. Like he's really just Nas, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. It's just like you know what to get from Nas. You're gonna get bars, you're gonna get some storytelling, you're gonna get some fire, like some lyrics put together, right? So it's just like how much is Hit Boy gonna do to elaborate like their collaboration to send it to another height without the concern. Like I was concerned that King Disease 3 wasn't gonna be King Disease 2 or 1, but
I mean, that's always the worry in any sort of trilogy,
but they absolved
right?
me of that feeling when I was listening to it because it's like I'm listening to a track and I'm like, dang, this might be my favorite song. And then the next one comes on, I'm like, dang, I really like this one too. And then the next one comes on, I'm like, dang, is this one better than the other one? So I end up finding myself listening to the album over and over again just to find out what song like I really do like the most, and it was really tough for me, to be honest with you. At this current moment, I don't have a favorite song.
I have like a solid 4 or 5 that are like I perk up when they come on, or like I turn it up a little bit, like for the most part. But I mean, you brought up an interesting point, and I didn't think that we were gonna get here and that we were gonna do this. If you was gonna rank the King Disease albums, where do you think like this winds up ranking in the trilogy? Yeah, it's only a trilogy.
I'm not gonna lie, this one is not better than 2.
I think 2 is the best, hands down.
I like 2 better than this one.
Is it better than 1?
I would have to go back to it. I can't lie to you. I would have to go back to it. That might be a project for me. It gives me an opportunity to just listen to some more Nas. So I listen to 1 and listen to 3 to see which one falls last.
Because I think that's where 2 does separate itself. Is 2 has a bunch of songs where it's like, I will just listen to these songs and not listen to this album.
Yes.
But I feel like 1 and 3, and I don't think it's an issue, but it's like it's the only way to bring it up, where it's like you listen to the whole album in its entirety. Like and it's like this thing we talk about where, like, you know, not having standout tracks, but it's at the same time, it's like you're at a very good consistent level, like all the way through. I wish there was a basketball metaphor that I could come up with, like who's like a boring player that's like does really well. Is it like Jokic? Nah, because Jokic still has like, it's almost like how everybody's tired of
old boy from the Bucks that used to play for the Knicks, Bobby Portis.
No, he's not Bobby Portis. No, because Bobby Portis isn't even like an all-star, and he's barely a starter.
He's a champ.
I was saying like Giannis, where like Giannis puts up MVP numbers every year, but we don't talk about him in the MVP anymore because it's just like, this is what we expect you to do. Like, you're Giannis.
I cannot be handsome and dominate the paint and shoot threes.
Yeah, but like I also thoroughly enjoyed this album. Out of the 17 songs, like I really like, I was looking at it too, and I was just like, is there any of these songs that like I either skip over or don't listen to? And I was just like, no. But I think like one of the problems that I was having is like when you read it, it's hard to, wait, which song is this? Like you're doing like that along because like they all do flow together like so well. I think Hit Boy and Nas has been one of like the best collaborations like in quite some time. He's probably the first, he's not the first, Jay-Z's the first person that showed us what grown man rap is supposed to sound like. But I feel like he's the best person who's turned grown man rap into a career. Like Jay-Z dropped us like, you know, 4 for 4 and stuff like that, and gave us like a grown man album, and then he comes and he does like a couple things here and there. But it's rap.
Button up rap.
Yeah, but it's like he doesn't really give us like a lot of projects to chew on, and it's like Eminem is kind of like on the other side of it, where it's just like, oh man, like we really don't want to hear this stuff no more, type of deal. But like Nas has been like not only showing us like how it's done, like he's thriving. Like it's obviously these albums are not Illmatic or Stillmatic or Godson, but it's like this run that he's on is like a very, very like impressive run where it's like
30 Summers.
Yo, that was a dope song too. Like that was like
30 Summers.
What's the line? Because it's like, it's gonna kill me now. Where it's just like you wouldn't survive some of the shit that I thrived through or something like that. How does it go? Come on. Help me out. Come on.
Some of the stuff I coughed through would murk you.
Yeah, something like that. But it's just like whatever that thing is.
That's gonna
like when I immediately heard that, I was just like, oh yeah, like he's on one. In this one, and it was just like that was like such a great. Like it's almost like when he was dissing Jay-Z, was like, you made it a hot, or Jay-Z was like, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. I was like, I could see him pulling that line out and making another dope song off of that, because like that phrase, like in general, I was just like, I understand it. I was like, I feel you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you want to go over some of your favorite songs on there? Like, is there like, I know you said that there was a couple standouts for you.
Yes.
I think we had some of the same standouts.
I like Hood to Hood.
That's one of mine too.
I like Legit.
Legit's pretty good. The sample from the 5 Heartbeats.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Listen,
that was a fire flip. There was a fire flip, bro.
That Eddie Kane is crazy. I was like, what is he about to do with this? I was like, okay. I like Reminisce.
I like Reminisce as well. I'm gonna stop saying I like them. I'm just gonna say they're in my top 5.
Right. I like Thun.
Thun was okay, but like that little segment that he had about Jay-Z on there was super fire. Like I was like, ooh. He's like, yo, sometimes he's like, I be thinking, I was like, yo, I ain't done or something like that. I was just like, yeah, I'm here for it.
And you gotta go with Once a Man, Twice a Child.
That's my favorite song on the album.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite on the album. But it's like I'm like more impressed that like, cause like I've been real heavy on this Her Loss album. And like
I haven't been back to it.
I'm surprised that there was something that was able to pry my attention away from it. Like I haven't listened to it since I've been listening to this Nas album. Like I pretty much just keep going through the Nas album so far, and it's just like I love it. I'm curious to see like where it ends up going towards the end of the year in our end of the year list. I think it's gonna be right at that line. I don't know like what side it's gonna make for me. I don't know if like for you, if it's already, you know, like if it crossed the pylon for you.
What?
This album.
For top what?
Like your top albums of the year.
I gotta get back to it.
That's what I'm asking.
When did King Disease 2 come out?
But that wasn't this year. That was like last year. He won a Grammy for it.
He did win a Grammy for that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I gotta sit and look at it. I gotta visually have it in front of me. But it's definitely up there.
I think this album was a must listen.
Yes.
Especially for Nas fans. Like I think it's like you're getting exactly what you go in there for.
Yes.
And I think that's all we can say
if
about
I was on a long trip, I'm throwing this, Joey, JID, and Corday on. I'm at the end of my trip without even knowing I was driving.
Okay. All right. It sounds to me like you already got your list already ready. I told you I got a whole Excel sheet for my end of the year stuff. And it's been ongoing, and it looks quite robust. I got to tell you right now.
Send it to me.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do the work for you. You're not about to copy my assignment. No, you put in the same amount of effort that I put in my stuff. You're not about to shadow clone jutsu my work. That's not what's about to happen.
Delete this row. Delete that row. Delete this row.
Speaking of you not doing your own homework, you got called out in the comment section.
I didn't get called out.
You
got called out.
How did I get called out?
You getting called out got me to doing my homework.
How did I get called out?
All right, so should I get the backstory?
Go ahead.
All right, so we do album reviews on Digging in the Crates, and last episode we did none other than Deuce's Memphis Massacre.
I almost
3.
said Mutant Massacre.
No, Memphis Massacre 3. I hadn't listened to the album. Joey Crack did listen to the album, and he said that he was unimpressed. Or I don't want to put any words in your mouth. What'd you say?
No, I'm pretty sure that's almost exactly what I said. It was like I went through it 2 times, and I felt I didn't need to go through it a 3rd time.
There you go.
I was like, I feel like I got everything that I wanted from it, and it was just okay.
There you go. With that being said, our comment section is open to our viewers to feel free to respond as they like, and we do read them and we do respond. And we got a response from none other than Tatiana Blood, which from what I'm assuming after I went to her Instagram page, you hit me up, so I looked to see what it was, right? So I'm assuming she's a music manager.
Okay.
Her and Deuce may be in a relationship. I'm not too sure. I don't want to make any insinuations or assumptions. Listen, man, we just here making content. I'm happy to see that it's reaching people across the world. To be fair,
I've been telling you, I was like, you got to start listening to this stuff or watching these things that I'm listening to, because you can't come on here and be like, I ain't see it. I ain't listen to it. Well, listen,
I had time. I made time. So I responded to Miss Blood and I let her know, hey, listen, I'm going to listen to nothing but the Deuce album for the next 3 days. And that's exactly what I did.
You did?
Denying myself King Disease III.
Okay.
So I listened to it when it came out, and then I went cold turkey, and then I went back to it today.
Okay. Right? The 3-day period was up.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure I gave an honest review. All right. And Tatiana, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not impressed with the album, and I'm going to go in detail about it so you understand why. All right. For one, like I said before, I really like Deuce. He's a cool dude. I always respect everybody's grind. I'm pretty sure he has a song about that. You don't gotta like it, but you're gonna respect it. I respect anybody's grind who's gonna go out and bet on themselves.
For the most part, I like his music too.
Yeah, you're gonna go out and bet on yourself, and you making it work. All power to you. All right. It's not for me though. It's not for me. Straight like that. Most of the songs are 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But 1 minute and 30 of that is all hook.
Which I for the most part, like the hooks.
Yeah, and the beats and the hooks. And I get it because it's the crunk thing, and when you playing it in the club, like Lil Jon type stuff, like that.
Hey, listen, I love me some Lil Jon verses, but you go ahead.
When those verses get to hitting, people are singing the verses. They turning up in the club. They hitting the bar. They having a good time. I want to hear rapping. I want to hear some verses, and every song seems like it has one verse. Like the one song that really stood out to me when I listened to it for the third time was the Buck the System, and he has
Buck the System.
Yeah. Buck the System. That one rocked for a little bit, but after I heard it the third, fourth time, I was kind of over that one as well. There was only one song that really stuck that I really felt like it was worth the mention, and that was Nobody Needs. That was the last track on the album where I felt like Deuce actually put some effort into his bars. He layered the song. I think it's like 2 or 3 verses in the song. I played that song 2 or 3 times through, and that song was enjoyable. Like if the rest of the album was like that or equivalent to that,
it probably would have been a better album. So I don't want you to feel like it was hate or nothing like that. We're gonna always give an honest review of the music that we listening to and how we listening to it.
For the most part, if I hate you and I don't like, I just won't listen to it.
Right, exactly.
And that's all there is to it.
Right, and we listened to Deuce because
I was actually excited to listen to that.
Exactly, like I said when I said on the other video, I like the fact that him like being in the gym doing the funny videos and all that stuff. Yeah. Like you could tell he's a cool, chill dude to hang out with, but there could have been more effort into this album. I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know if there was like something going on, but I just feel like it wasn't a lot of context to it for me. So Nobody Needs is good. The rest of it I'm gonna have to pass on. Straight like that.
All right, I think that's about as fair as a review that you could give.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much what I said the first time too. Is like,
hey, I do appreciate your viewership though. I don't know how we fell on y'all radar. It's much love. I mean, it's nice to see that we traveling. You know what I mean? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I said pretty much the same thing. It's like I liked a lot of the hooks. I liked the beats. Mm-hmm. The verses let a lot to be desired, and there was nothing that grabbed me enough that made me want to come back to it. I thought it was just okay.
Right.
So, we were talking about King Disease III, mm-hmm. and you had said something, and I was like, I'm glad you brought it up, because today they released the Grammy nominees for Best Rap Album.
Oh.
So, there are 5 albums up here for Best Rap Album.
Why?
You tell me, do you want to guess what the 5 albums are, or do you want me to just read the list off to you?
For Album of the Year?
Yes. Best Rap Album.
I want to guess 1. I want to guess 2.
Okay.
Those 2 aren't up there. I'm already mad, and then you can tell me the rest.
Okay.
Is Joey up there?
He is not.
Is JID up there?
He is not.
I'm all set. Go ahead and read the 5. Go ahead and read the 5.
You ready?
Yes.
Future, I Never Liked You. DJ Khaled, God Did. Oh, shoot. I just accidentally went to my calendar. Pusha T, It's Almost Dry.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Okay.
And last, but certainly not least, Jack Harlow, Come Home, the Kids Miss You.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm voting for Push. I'm voting for Push. This is out of control, man. This is out of control.
It is.
Who makes these lists?
The Grammys, man. People,
listen, man.
People submit their albums, and then it's like they go off of there. I don't know if these albums
you just said it, and like I said, no offense, I forgot Future had made an album, bro.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that one song with Drake that I liked, I never went back to the album.
I like the one song where they sampled Old Girl's song. What song is that?
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's the one with Drake on it?
They're like, tell me how I'm feeling.
Yes. And I think the only reason that one is catchy is because you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
But
and honestly, it's really that hook in Drake's verse. Like Future could not be on that track and I'd be fine.
Oh my goodness, man!
So I got upset and I went to Twitter, which if you're on Twitter, at Big Nasty 1236, and I wrote.
I can't believe that you.
I will read for you.
I can't believe
verbatim what I wrote.
Oh my goodness!
What in the 7 hells is this list? Aside from Pusha T and Kendrick, this list is abysmal. And I added these people too. How is there no sign of Joey Badass, JID, Cordae, or at least even a mention of Drake and 21 Savage? What the hell is this? The Grammys? The fuck is you doing? How long are we going to put up with this bullshit?
Before we do our own thing?
But this is what happens when we let people who are not of the culture judge the culture.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
We were very critical of the Future album and the Jack Harlow album. So were the people. The numbers weren't there for these albums either. Like, they flopped. How are they up here?
I don't know.
And the thing is, like, DJ Khaled's album?
I don't know, bro.
And it's like, it's got to be, there had to have been some oversight.
I never went back to Khaled's album.
Who else's album I didn't put on there? And I was just like, how was this for? Freddie Gibbs' album.
Yeah.
How was Freddie Gibbs' album not recommended on there? This is what I'm talking about. I was like, yo, what the hell is this?
This is wild.
I feel like
I'm sorely disappointed.
We judge these albums and we talked about them, we listened to them. I feel like this should be a full sprint, easy run for Pusha T to win this. I think they're gonna hold him out and give it to Kendrick Lamar, though.
I think so too.
I think that's exactly what's gonna happen.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
And it
Kendrick's
sucks.
been doing a lot of
other stuff
Yeah.
outside of like his album release to continue to keep his album relevant and to reach other platforms. Pusha kind of like threw the album out there. I was like, all right, I'm on to the next. You know what I mean?
It seemed like that, right?
Yeah, but like Kendrick's doing like visual art performances and he's going to other countries and there's a lot of stuff that he's doing with his album to make sure that it's still out there. So I think that that's going to give him the nudge because he's still catching eyes because of the stuff that he's doing after post album.
I think it's going to be really interesting because like they also did best pop album or best R&B album. I can't remember which category it was, but Adele and Beyonce were on there.
Oh my goodness.
And I feel like they're going to hold Beyonce out and give it to Adele as well. And I think if you asked Adele, she would tell you that Beyonce's album was better. Like to me, like this is crazy. It's crazy, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Who's putting these things together? Is it their teams are not putting it out for nomination? Because like that's what has to happen is like your label has to like put it up for consideration.
Oh, okay.
So like I remember like The Weeknd, for instance, like not this last album, but the one where he had like the jagged face and was a Starboy or something.
Yeah.
Like that album, like I remember he purposely didn't submit it to the Grammys, and people were just like, "Yo, he just really walked away from Grammy for the most part." And I think Drake himself has been anti-Grammys and he's been boycotting the Grammys. So like I doubt he's been submitting his stuff, but like I think. Her loss was too late anyways. So like it would have to be like honestly like, never mind, which even if that was on there it wasn't gonna win. But it's like to me still better album than I was about to say Pusha, better than Jack Harlow and Future's album.
Yeah.
Like to me like these things are like absurd.
That's tough. That's tough.
Let me ask you this.
How to feel about it.
So let me ask you this. It's supposed to be 5 albums.
Yes.
We said that like Kendrick and Pusha T were valid.
Yes.
You got JID, Cordae, Joey.
There you go.
Is there another album that you would have in consideration, or are those the 3 that need to be up there with these 2?
Those are the 3.
And with all those 5 that are up there, do you think Pusha or Kendrick stand the chance against the other 3?
I really like that Joey album, man. That joint is fire.
I think we're on the same page though, where it's just like that even if those 3 albums are on there, these other 2 albums, these 2 that are possibly going to win it, they wouldn't even be up there.
He's like 10 years ahead, but like 20 years behind on that record, bro. It's like he's in an age group, like he's rapping in an age group of people that we listen to now, and I'm not saying like people don't listen to people we listen to, but you understand like that nostalgic feeling. But because of his age, you feel like he's 10 years ahead of other people that are his age. So it's kind of like a back and forth type thing. Bro, listen, man. Somebody, I don't know, man. I'm not getting on the soapbox for this, bro. The names are already up there. They done already made the mistake. It's already whack. If the Grammys come out, Joey wins.
If the Grammys come out, and winner for best rap album is Jack Harlow, how do you feel? What happens at that point?
Do you know when the last time it was that I watched the Grammys?
No, probably the last time that I watched the Grammys.
When's the last time you watched the Grammys?
Never.
There you go. So I wouldn't know that he won.
I've seen Grammy clips more than I've actually watched the Grammys.
I wouldn't know that he won until somebody told me that he did.
I remember one year DMX didn't win, and I threw a fit like in my room, and I was like, he dropped 2 #1 albums in the same year. Like I was hot. Yeah. I was like, DMX ain't win.
Yeah. So I would be upset for all of 2 seconds because I wouldn't be surprised. This is what happens. This is what happens. So
I had to, like, when I saw that this morning, I was like, I can't wait to bring this up on the pod. That's why I think I texted you immediately after. I was like, what time we potted today? I was like, I thought about sending it to you first and letting you marinate on it. I was like, I wanted to see his reaction live, bro.
That list is whack, man. They need to make a quick turnaround.
Almost like our boy G-Head over at Custom Merchant Nursery. You go to Etsy and search for custom merch. Enter the promo code Heavyweight Bros, spelled HW, the number 8BROS, to save you 10% off your order. Because the more you spend,
the more you save. This brother's tripping.
How am I tripping? You just pulled that joint at your ass, man. Like,
I do that every time, and you be ready to go. Man.
But you don't. All right, I'm gonna start pulling shit out and like see.
And I'm gonna be ready. I'm witty, and I'm always ready.
You are never.
I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. All right?
Yeah, almost like our boy
Jihad over at Custom Merch at finding my IG and Etsy, because the more you spend, the more you
I thought you was gonna be ready. I literally just said
ready. I was ready.
He was ready to fuck it up.
I was ready.
Yeah,
I just don't know how to say it just like you. But you know what I mean? I was ready.
But you're super witty. I thought you would have came up with it like you said.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, this is the end of part 1. Now part 2, we're gonna be doing Insomnia Hour. A couple of shows took a break, so we're pretty much gonna be spending a lot of time on the peripheral and other shows that we're watching like at this point in time. So stay tuned for part 2.